is Hannah Vessels, and this is my story. I grew up in Dallas, Texas, born and raised. I have a mom and a dad, both still together, and my older sister, Christina, is 7 years older than I am. You know, it was always just kind of like a really funny family. My dad, I describe him kind of like Michael Scott from The Office, just kind of that personality, always really funny. My mom is like the serious, like, you know, when Daddy would say something, she'd be like, honey, like you just can't say those things in public. So I kind of grew up with like both ends of the spectrum, like the funny dad and then like the really like straight, serious mom. April of 2009, April of 2009, I started to get this weird numbness and tingling feeling in my legs. You know when your foot falls asleep, how it's just kind of like pins and needles? Well, that's what my leg felt like. And it wasn't like it all the time, but just enough for me to be like, this isn't normal, this isn't right. So of course I called my mom, and she got me an appointment with a neurologist. That summer, the summer of 2009, I had 5 brain scans and MRIs, over 80 blood tests, nerve studies, you know, just countless visits to the doctor to try and test to see what they thought was wrong with me. The tingling got worse to where it was an everyday occurrence, not just kind of a once a week or once a month thing. And along with the tingling, I would have days where it literally, like I've never been on fire, but I feel like it felt like it was. My leg was just, it burned, it hurt, it ached so bad that there were days where I couldn't get out of bed, I couldn't move, and it really, I couldn't do anything. So I was leaving my dorm and I was walking out and my phone rang and I saw it was my neurologist, and so I answered, and you know, it was maybe 100 yards from my dorm to the chapel, and just in those 100 yards, my neurologist called me and told me that they got the scans back, and I did in fact have multiple sclerosis. She told me the numerous medications that I would be on, the way that my life would be different. You know, I'd give myself a shot 3 times a week. I'd take 6 extra pills a day. You know, the medicine would make me feel really sick. It would attack my body to, you know, in ways that I would just be so miserable and so sick that I couldn't do anything. Just dealing with this diagnosis in and of itself, it's one of those big, like it's a big deal. You know, it doesn't just affect the next month of my life, but for like the rest of my life. We're all different, we all come from different backgrounds, we all have different things going on in our lives, but the biggest main point of our story should be Jesus. And that's really all that I've kind of come to know from just my, you know, my past or this diagnosis is, you know, I see this as a really big deal, but Jesus is so much bigger than it. And, you know, if I'm to have this, if I'm to have MS, then I'm gonna have it, and I'm gonna tell as many people I can about it and tell them just the grace and the love that God has shown me through it, how He's getting me through it, how He gets me up out of bed in the morning, how He's given me opportunities to share my story with people, to give them hope if they have similar circumstances and whatnot. Yeah. Okay. My name's Hannah Vessels, and this is my story.